Hello, this is Greg Berzinsky for Beardbrand Alliance. Here we are, hashtag Corona Beard. I thought this would be discarded, kind of like Who Killed Carol Baskin's Husband or Exotic Joe, but sure enough, we are 4 months into quarantine for a big part of the world, and in particular in the United States. Have you continued to grow your Corona Beard? Let's take a look at guys from the age of 19 to 59 who have gone from zero to pretty substantial beards in the past 4 months. I want you to get through the list, looking at these guys, and I want you to comment on who you think is the most transformed by their quarantine beard. Stay tuned. Yes, guys, quarantine beard, Corona Beard challenge. We are still here, and in particular in the United States, as I mentioned, a lot of guys are still growing that beard, as a lot of guys still haven't gone back into the workforce. And even if they have, they've kept the beard. So let's take a look at a series of guys who start as young as 19 years old and go up to guys who are about my age and have been growing their first time beards. Let's just run through this list. And as I mentioned before, pay attention to the list, and what you can do in the comment section at the end is write down who you think is the most transformed, or even whose beard you like the best. So here we go. First guy is 19 years old. He is from Norway, and let's call him Phantom. He has gone from smooth baby face, obviously, to what is a substantial beard, and this is pretty good for a guy who's 19 years old. I think he should stay with it. Look at this guy also. A lot of guys say, hey, I have patchy beard and everything. He has a disconnect between his mustache and his beard in this area. And a lot of guys, I can't grow a beard. This proves that even with a detached mustache and with a lower beard, you can still rock a full beard. So don't be afraid to do that if you have those areas on your face. Next guy, also 20 years old, and he has grown stronger, in particular in the beard department, going from a little bit of stubble to a full beard. And a lot of the guys reported that they had never grown a beard before because they didn't think they could. And so what we're seeing here is that, sure enough, a lot of these guys could grow a beard. Next guy, James Logan Hart, who is 21 years old. He sent me a picture that was taken a few weeks into the challenge. He said he had always rocked some type of stubble, but never had gone for a full beard. And looking at his after picture, you question, why didn't you do that? Guy looks fantastic with a beard. Even the way he's rocking the attitude with that looks fantastic. So at 21 years old. This crop of guys may be slightly different from the first round I did. The submissions that I got were actually guys who at young ages had pretty good seed material. So nothing, not to say that this is the average, but this particular group of guys, a lot of them had good beards to start, or good potential for beards. Like our next guy, who's 21 years old, Matty Hunt, went from stubble, and this picture was taken a couple of weeks into the process, growing a full beard. And a beard can really change the way your face looks. And you see that a lot. I see that in my own face. A lot of guys will report that once they grew a beard, it changed the focus on their face, either to the eyes, not only the beard. A beard can sometimes actually take or put attention to other parts of your face, whether that be the hair, the face shape itself, the clarity of your skin, your eyes, your nose. So this also is apparent in this guy because it really did change the way he looks. We have a 23-year-old who sent a picture well into the growing process, but I wanted to show this one because not only was he growing a beard, but he was paying special attention to the mustache. So how many of you guys have, in this process of quarantine, done something a little more creative with your beard? A lot of guys are just letting it go, totally. Just like, hey, I'm not going out, or I'm going out in a limited way, or I'm only going back to work 50% of the time. And what I'm doing is, just chilling, taking it easy. But some guys are actually, taking the time that some guys had, particularly at the beginning, the first 2 or 3 months, and playing around. And this guy actually played around with the mustache. So I must ask you a question. Are you going to continue to do that? This next guy, 24-year-old, picture taken at the end of March. A few weeks into his growing process, he had been fading a beard. He let the whole thing go to reveal a pretty substantial beard at the age of 24. Our next one is a 24-year-old also, who had just traditionally always rocked some type of mustache. And what he decided to do in the Corona beard period is to grow the full beard out. And you can tell actually from the mustache and the amount of stubble that he has that he had potential to grow a beard. He actually changed the whole balance of his face by taking his hair off and growing a very good beard, especially at the age of 24. You go, Tony. We have a 26-year-old here, Jonathan. And we have a couple of weeks into the growing process. A lot of guys didn't even think that they were going to be growing a beard or being in the process of doing anything. And so a lot of guys reported that they didn't even think about taking a selfie, which I can't understand, but hey, you know me, you've seen my Instagram. But you know, so some of the pictures are into the process where they realize that, hey, let me document what I'm doing here. So this guy actually, you know, took this picture and pow, you know, dramatic change in the way he looks, and also just revealing that he has a great beard with great potential. So Jonathan looks good, keep going. And when I say keep going, I don't mean necessarily to keep growing the beard. A number of the guys reported here that they were, in fact, going to grow a beard. Since they got such a jump start at 4 months, they were going to keep it going. When I say keep going, if that's your thing, grow that beard. But also, keep going. If you're going to keep a beard, keep it. Over the course of the 4 months, you might have decided, hey, my beard looked better at 3 months. My beard looks good now. Or let me see what it's going to look like at 5 or 6 months. So whatever that is, keep going. We have a 25-year-old here who reported, you know, growing his first-time beard, but he also decided to take advantage of the time to also grow his hair. So we had a particularly smooth face, and to a man who has lots of hair and a lot of beard. So a lot of guys are actually doing that also, taking the opportunity with the barbershops closed in some places, just reopening in some others. Philadelphia, we're finally reopening barbershops, but you can't get a beard trim, but you can get a haircut. But a lot of guys had a jump start on that 3 months of not cutting their hair and have decided to keep it going. And that's one guy we had there. 26-year-old Wesley from Belgium. You look at it as a before picture and I'm like, okay, maybe there's potential there to grow a beard. And sure enough, after 4 months, went from a stubble to what is a glorious beard. Looks fantastic. And at the age of 26, you'll see with a bunch of these guys, some of them have tons of hair. Some of them are, you know, follically challenged on the top or shave their heads. And I think you'll see a number of these guys. It proves that a fantastic look to have is bald with beard. And this guy, I think, proves that hands down. Looks great. We have a 26-year-old here who also decided to grow the beard, but also didn't cut his hair. And pow, look at all that hair. Be curious to see where these guys go in the process, whether this guy's going to keep growing the hair. I suspect that some guys who have gotten a jump start, it might have been 2 months into not or getting a haircut, and then suddenly 4 months later, so you're half a year in. That's quite a jump start on deciding whether you want to grow your hair long. 6 months into the process, you're getting through, or you're probably right in the middle of what people consider an awkward phase. But I think a lot of guys can power through it because they've not been seen by as many people. We have a 26-year-old who went, you know, from a very short beard, this taken at the end of March, to a pretty big beard. So what I wanted, and what I've talked about before, is your hair on average grows about ½ an inch a month. And it's give or take. The younger you are, you see guys 17, 18, 19. When I report that it's a ½ an inch, they're like, my beard doesn't grow that fast. A lot of young beards don't do that. And it's not necessarily getting older. That's your mature beard, and that's probably the gauge of what you're going to say, oh, that's a half an inch. And in some cases, this guy looks like it's 5/8 of an inch a month. It's controlled somewhat by diet, eating a high-protein diet, having less stress in your life, just generally being healthy can contribute to faster growing hair. But on average, half an inch a month. But you're going to see guys who are like, oh, that's not a lot of beard for 4 months, or that's a lot of beard for 4 months. That's the difference between your mature beard and how fast it's growing. We have a 27-year-old here, and for example, this guy went from 0 and in 4 months has, what appears to be a longer beard. But he also has a beard that appears that he's done no trimming whatsoever. So you can see on the bottom, there's some uneven hairs, which makes total sense. As your hairs grow down, they're growing at different lengths on your face, and they might end up differently. Areas of your face can grow faster or slower, mustache growing slower, soul patch growing slower. Some people report that their sideburns grow faster. So this guy at 4 months, whether he's going for a year or whether he's going to decide now, like, hey, this is a good length. This is a good length to start trimming if you want to hold, continue to grow, but you can take off a little on the bottom to even up those scraggly lettuce kind of thing hanging over the bun look. At 3 or 4 months, that's the time to actually do that. We have a 28-year-old, love this picture of the before. Who hasn't taken that unflattering selfie? And sure enough, he went from the smooth face to a beard, also experimenting with handlebar mustache. And this guy looks dashing. We have a 29-year-old here from Italy, sending a picture from the end of March. And he has continued to let his beard grow. Once again, some of these guys reporting that they weren't happy with what they considered a disconnect between mustache and beard. And you can see in his case that over the past 4 months, some of that has filled in. And once again, experimenting with the mustache. Looking good. We have a 30-year-old guy here from, I'm going to guess, Egypt, since this is Egyptian Dude 96. Shaved head, shaved face, a lot of skin. And then adding the beard, and a good beard at that, keeping the hair shaved. Great look. I've said it again, I've said it in this video, and I'll say it again. One of my favorite looks, shaved head with a beard. Do you think I can rock that? We might see. Next one, we have a tango guy from Bolivia. Went from a smooth face to having a beard. So this is a case where after 4 months, his beard looks a little shorter than, say, the previous guy. Once again, that's the rate at which your hair is growing. On average, that half an inch, but not for every guy. So don't be concerned if your beard is growing slower. It may catch up. It just may, what some guys can grow in 4 months, it might take you 6. And just keep going. Just keep going. We have a 32-year-old, once again, fully shaved, and decided to let his beard go. A guy from India here, and great beard, lots of potential, great mustache. So his beard looks probably on par, like full coverage, obviously, but it looks on par for what I would think a 4-month beard looks like when you think about that average. We have a 35-year-old here who, in business, always was smooth, took advantage of communicating and working in Zoom meetings, saying, hey, I'm just going to grow my beard. And so Garrett actually grew that beard for the first time. I just want to preface the age on some of these people. 80% gave me the real age. I didn't get everyone's age in time before we did the submission, so I'm guessing it's some of them. So please forgive me if I've guessed too high. Please thank me if I've guessed too low. We have a 38-year-old here from the UK. Talk about a dramatic change, but really in the hair and as well as the beard. He said that the first picture he was going to a fancy dress party, which I guess that would be a costume party in the US, and added some temporary hair color. But I love the fact that his hair basically went 180 in terms of what was growing and what wasn't growing. So changed his look for sure. We have a 38-year-old here who, starting to get gray. You'll see, as these guys get a little older, they might get some gray hair in the mix. And so he has a little bit of that gray popping through and looking good on that 4-month beard. We have a 39-year-old, once again, shaved and shaved. So you see these guys, you're like, okay, I see some 5 o'clock stubble there. There's potential to grow a beard, and you never did it, especially in your late 30s. He grows the beard, and like, the guy was born to beard. So I'm going to actually say this should be part of the man role, or like being a human being is at key points in your life. And I think I actually might make this as a challenge, that you, on your 40th birthday, on your 30th birthday, on your 20th birthday, on your 50th birthday, that you decide that you're going to grow a beard for 3 months, just to take that inventory, just to make sure that you aren't a guy who has great beard potential and who has denied the world of that beauty. We have a 40-year-old here, and once again, the gray coming in here, and what a change on this guy, and that's a lot of beard. So I would say this guy's growing at a faster rate than some of the others. Another 40-year-old guy here who is so caught up on the beard train that his name has changed to the Beard Journey UK. So he is rocking a beard in his late 30s and early 40s. We have a guy here, and my apologies if I'm guessing the age wrong, but went from pretty much a short, appears to be like a 1-month beard, to 4-month beard. So this guy might be 5 months into the process, but a lot of beard. And once again, varies from guy to guy. Nearing the end here, we have a 57-year-old who said that he was in a job, and I don't know if it was military or Secret Service, given the get up there, he could be Men in Black, but decided to let the beard go, and for the first time, and just pretty much changing his look completely. We have a 58-year-old, so we are the same age, and so I guess I'm speechless. So we have a 58-year-old guy with his before picture and his after picture, and gun to my head, is that the same guy? Sure enough, it is. And you can see that a full beard can change your life. And our last submission here is a 59-year-old. He has experimented over time with long hair, but has never grown a full beard, and he let it come in. And his looks change, they change. And so what do you think? There we have roughly about 29 guys from the age of 19 to 30, all who have decided to take the hashtag Corona Beard Challenge and continue to grow their beards 4 months in. So whether you're out of quarantine or not, some guys have continued to just grow, and they're still saying that they have a Corona beard or a quarantine beard, even as they start to get back into society. As Ben reports, in Germany, it's pretty much getting back to normal, and in places in the world, it is getting back to normal. But as I said before, there's areas where we're still deep in the trenches. But whether you're in quarantine or you're out, and whether you're completely back into the workforce, have you continued to grow your beard? I think we might do one more installment of this and look at a 6-month period if we get there. Something tells me that in the US, we're going to be in some form of quarantine in a couple of months from now. Fingers crossed, but I don't know how hopeful I am. So once again, comment below. Tell us who you think is most transformed by growing their beard. Whose beard you like. This isn't a competition here, hey, but maybe it is a healthy competition. I think to see who is most transformed by the beard is actually a good thing, because it doesn't actually say you have a better beard than one guy or the other guy. It's just that it has transformed your face and you look completely different. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you're staying safe wherever you are in the world. And until we meet again.
Hey, I'm glad you've been watching these Alliance videos. Woo, good job. Hey, do yourself a favor. Treat yourself to a little treat and come join us. Join us at the Alliance. We would love to have you. See you soon.